Hi, beauties and handsome ones. Thank you for coming back and visiting me. I just made a series. There's, I think, 5 in the series of I got a porn star for my birthday, so I think you'll really enjoy that. I just put out the second one today, and I learned a lot from that experience for men and for women. So I gleaned as much as I could from that because it wasn't easy. It was, really hot and sexy, and there was also, parts of it that were challenging for me that I shared too. So we can all learn from it and all learn from my mistakes. How's that? You know what's so hilarious? I probably haven't posted that particular video. I'm not sure yet in the series, but I do mention in there how I guess I didn't get taken care of sexually equally as he did. I'll just put it that way. So I thought it was really interesting that I had a client yesterday who made up for that, and he didn't know anything about what happened, but this rarely ever happens, and so I totally welcome it happening more. Usually clients are not trained to do the prostate massage piece. That's usually something I'm introducing to clients for the first time, that they've never had that done, never been activated that way. And it is kind of a huge piece of sexuality that a lot of people are missing. And it's equally pleasurable for men and women, and it's where the G-spot is for men. And it's, anyway, there's a lot of pleasure there. It kind of like adds the bass notes of pleasure to the high notes you already know. So anyway, usually clients are not trained or practiced in that. They're hearing about it for the first time, experiencing it for the first time. Well, he was practiced in it. So I got to have that that he added to the pleasuring piece. So that was cool. But then he also brought me to release twice, which, usually there's only time for once. And, he got a larger session, so we were able to do these things, and there was time for me to release a second time. So I got to actually have a pleasure journey that kind of made up for what didn't happen in my date. And then the part that made me laugh is that, this guy who's giving me a double orgasm plus, the prostate massage is part of it, is paying over $400 to be with me for an hour and a half, whereas the date, wasn't paying anything. And so I'm just like, this is so weird. I have so much better experiences in my sessions, and actually my needs end up getting taken care of a lot better in my sessions because it's more mutual, and I think they're paying for it, and they really want it to be a good experience for both of us, and they want to come back, and and then I have dates, and I'm just like, ugh. Where I think one of the things I learned is that maybe I kind of do need to guide my dates in the same way that I guide my clients, not feeling like I'm working, but just incorporate some of the things that I do in my sessions into my date, because it's perfectly orchestrated to where everyone's happy and it's paced perfectly. It's sort of like an ideal template of a date where the two people are ready to get romantic and physical with each other. And I tell them that so they can use it as an example that when they're ready to get romantic with someone, this is how you do it in a conscious way that will most likely make her feel taken care of and safe, so that she will open up. And there's no sex involved, but there's definitely pleasure involved, and it's yummy. And So anyway, I kind of thought about that, and then I was thinking, should I tell? Because I usually don't talk about my business in dating situations. I think what happened in the past is they're like, oh, I want to learn Tantra. And it's like, yeah, well, I'm not going to teach you Tantra for free, unless we really hit it off or something, and so they're like, oh, I want a session. And it was sort of, I was like, oh, this doesn't work for me. And I don't want them, also kind of being motivated for the wrong reasons either, like just to get Tantra lessons from me for free or something like that, instead of, being there for me. But then, after this experience, I was kind of laughing, like, maybe I do need to talk about my business more. I mean, sometimes I'll make reference to it, but I mean, just in the sense that I am coming from a unique perspective, in the sense that because I'm in this business and I do get paid for my time, and it's quality time that's really highly valued and highly paid for, it makes me not so eager to put myself in that position where I'm not going to get paid if I know I'm not going to really get the experience I want. So it does change things a little bit. Like, I've had swingers approach me, or married men approach me and want to play, and I'm like, well, I get paid to do that, and you're already taken, so what's in it for me? I guess if I was really attracted to him, that would be one thing, but most of the time it's like, no, you can pay to come in for a session, and so just to give you perspective, yeah, how I'm coming at it, it is different than most women. So I'm usually not that motivated to go into a romantic situation unless there's really a connection and I can tell something's wanting to happen between the two of us, and there's attraction and chemistry and whatever. So, needless to say, I find that I'm not engaging in dating as much as I would like, and I'm not having as good of experiences as I would like. Otherwise, I would be engaging more. But I was thinking, well, maybe I do need to talk about, just so that, I don't know, I'm curious what you think. Let me know in the comments, because I've been told that, I can be intimidating to men. Sometimes I guess it takes some courage, obviously, to approach a woman. And I am a sovereign, empowered woman who's self-employed and strong and alpha and all that. So sure, I get that. And if I just thought if I added the Tantra piece, it would be a little too over the top. Like, whoa, now Tantra. And, and part of my business is having quality communication skills and relationship skills, and often they're missing those, like they don't know Tantra, they're not very good at communicating, and so they're already feeling inadequate, and so that's why I kind of just didn't go there. But I guess the positive side of it would be it gives them perspective, like, hey, I normally get paid like over $400 to do this with someone, who comes in for a session. So, be at your best and don't be fucking with me, and like dropping the ball and stuff, because otherwise I'd rather just do sessions with my clients where, it goes well and I get paid for it. So anyway, I just thought it was funny. It's kind of hilarious. There's probably a subtle way, like graceful way to say that, and I haven't quite figured that out yet, because I don't want them to be offended or anything. But it honestly, in trueness, I feel like that might be helpful. Anyway, I probably don't need to. In this past situation where I didn't have the best experience, I kind of was doing an experiment where I just let him have his way and lead. And when I do that, I find that the guy doesn't really consider the woman and what her needs are as well as a woman would vice versa. And they kind of go after their pleasure, has been my experience, or they get so excited that they kind of, their brain goes away or something. And then they kind of forget, it seems like, that women often don't come during intercourse. And so, you know, if you leave us hanging, it's sort of like, I've got better things to do. Anyway, curious what you think about all that.